Hey, great to have you here. So today I want to do a quick video update of the Dexter Original Sin TV series that's going to be coming out. I know I've done a little bit of updates on Dexter previously with showing the original cast announcement, as well as a few other updates of photos we've gotten along the way. So as you may or may not know, Comic-Con is going on right now, and with that comes a lot of panels, a lot of new announcements, a lot of releases. A lot of information really comes out around this time. So they had a Dexter Comic-Con panel in which they had members of the original Sin cast present there, like Christian Slater and so forth, were there on the panel. And sure enough, they had a surprise announcement of a special guest inclusion on the panel, which was the one and only Michael C. Hall. So really awesome to see that. Obviously, in my view, Michael C. Hall really exudes the character of Dexter. You know, Dexter, for the seasons that took place previously, Michael C. Hall really carried that show. So I imagine that was really cool for all the folks live to see Michael C. Hall pop up with a box of donuts to share with everybody. Just really funny inclusion there. And as you can assume, you can wonder, well, how is he going to be involved in the series? Really, the only way he can be, which is a cool way to include him, is having him continue to be the narration, the inner monologue of Dexter. So you'll have Patrick Gibson playing Dexter, the character, but whenever you have Dexter doing those inner thoughts taking place, probably at the beginning of episodes and just throughout as he's processing things, you'll have Michael C. Hall be doing the voiceover, which I think all in all works out the best. I know there were discussions previously, does he want to be involved in the show any longer? Is that why Dexter ultimately ended the way it did with New Blood? Was Michael C. Hall not interested in continuing the show any further? I think having a voiceover inclusion is the best of both worlds. You have him involved where he's still present, but he doesn't have to necessarily be as active as necessarily you would be being live on the show. So I think it's going to be a cool inclusion. Previously, I was a little mixed on Original Sin just because you know how the show ends, and a lot of times I personally don't love prequels just because you know which characters will die, which characters won't die, stuff like that. So I was a little mixed, especially how Dexter ended, in my opinion. But the inclusion of Michael C. Hall, the inclusion of some of these other actors we've gotten along the way, makes me cautiously optimistic. I plan to watch the show. I'll definitely share my thoughts with it, but it's something that I hope that having Michael C. Hall as that narration brings a lot of good value to the show. They've been able to do this successfully with other shows before. We had How I Met Your Mother is a prime example I can think of, where you had Josh Radnor playing Ted Mosby, but you had Bob Saget being the voice narration of him. So sometimes I feel like it can be a little bit weird where you have one person talking and one person acting, but I think that's an example of it done right. And I think Michael is just such a great presence, even with just his voice. I think they can be successful with that. You just need enough other things around the show to make it interesting, to overcome knowing who's alive and who doesn't live. Those extra inclusions are what's going to take it over the top, essentially. But having this update is awesome to see. It's great to see Michael back involved with Dexter. They did also announce a release date for the show, which is December of 24. So at the end of this year, we'll be getting the first episodes of Dexter Original Sin. Really looking forward to seeing what that's about. As I said, I'm going to go into it a little cautiously optimistic. Definitely going to check it out, but I hope I can be proven wrong and have it be something I really enjoy up to the same standard as the original Dexter. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the announcement of Michael C. Hall being back involved and the show coming out at the end of this year? We'll love your feedback there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.